Start sits for week 8. It's Wiggs here again, recording this by myself here. We're just gonna do my start sits. I don't really want to bother my dad too much right now, so kind of just dive right on into it. Zay Flowers, Calvin Ridley, Rome Odunze. Zay Flowers may be a little bit of a surprise for some people, but for me last week I actually had him as one of my sit options, which if you guys followed that, I would have saved you a lot of sadness because he only put up 4 points last week. So this week, I think he's going to bounce back. I think he's going to be highly involved here against the Browns, and I think it'll be a fun matchup here for Zay Flowers. I think he's going to have a touchdown in this game with probably 97-ish yards receiving on about 5 or 6 receptions. So I think it's going to be a pretty good game for Zay Flowers, and I really am excited to see what he does this week. Moving on from there, Calvin Ridley. I know he hasn't done anything this year at all, but I think this is a player that's going to start popping off here in the coming weeks. I think with D-Hop finally being out of this offense, I think that might just spark Calvin Ridley a little bit more. Just a matter of Levis or Rudolph just being accurate. He has gotten a lot of targets over the last 2 weeks, averaging about 10 of them. So it wouldn't surprise me if one of these quarterbacks became a little more accurate if he had some pop-off games with 100-plus yards, a few more touchdowns. But it is a risky start this week. Definitely only at your flex if you're desperate, but I do think here he's going to start to have a good year. It's been really slow for him here in the first 7 weeks, but I think that's going to flip around. Moving forward, we have Rome Odunze. I think the Bears are going to have a field day on offense against Washington because the Washington defense is not that good. I think for some reason Keenan Allen's not really going to be involved in this game, so I think it's really going to be more of a DJ Moore and Rome Odunze show, and I think Rome might actually lead the pack this week here in receiving yards, and I think he's going to have a touchdown here as well. I think he's in a prime position where if Washington were to like focus on DJ Moore or Keenan Allen, that he's definitely going to get the ball a lot. And regardless, I could even see the Bears, running some sweeps with him or something where he's running the ball a little bit here in this game too. And he's a speedy receiver, so it wouldn't surprise me if he broke off for a big game. Another, risky-ish start here, but it wouldn't surprise me if he put up about 12 points here this week, if not more. Moving forward, Deontay Johnson as my first sit. I've heard talks that he might not even play this week. I'm not sure if that was confirmed or not yet, but I put him on here just to be safe. Deontay Johnson's going to have Bryce Young back at quarterback if he does play it, and I just don't see that faring well for him. He's only had success with Andy Dalton as his quarterback so far, so we really just need to see something out of Bryce Young this week. If he doesn't play, we'll see if Young can find his other receivers, and then maybe in coming weeks you might be able to start him again, but he's a risky start. I was lucky enough to, trade him away in my league, which was good, so we'll see how things go. Probably the biggest shock on the list, Marvin Harrison Jr. I am not sold on Harrison Jr. right now. I don't think him and Murray have any sort of connection whatsoever. And that's just it's hard for me if I had him on my roster to start him because of that. I know he's had 2 back-to-back good weeks early on in the year. I think it was like week 2 and week 3, but I don't know. These last few weeks haven't been good. I know one of them he had a concussion in, but last week they didn't really utilize him that much, and you could just tell he was not about it out there on the field. He was half running his routes, partially blocking. He just did not want to be on the field because he wasn't getting the ball. So it wouldn't surprise me if he just, because of his attitude, doesn't get the ball again here this week. And then lastly, Zamir White, probably the biggest disappointment at running back this year, if I'm being completely honest. I personally drafted him over someone like Brian Thomas, thinking that Zamir White would have a really good year, and he hasn't done anything. We are seeing basically the next Alexander Madison right here, where he gets the starting role and does absolutely nothing after his lead back left. So for me, it's an easy sit. I think Madison's kind of taking the reins here in this offense. And even if he hasn't, I haven't seen anything from Zamir White this year to be like, oh my God, he's good, because really he is not that good. And it wouldn't surprise me if he's really just not involved the rest of the year at all. But that's my start sits for the week. Hope you guys do enjoy this video, and follow us on YouTube, Fantasy Fools, and then on Snapchat, Instagram, X, TikTok, all the fun stuff, Fantasy Fools PPR.